Imagine the world's most challenging and expensive industry, where every single rocket costs billions of dollars and hundreds of engineers labor for years. This is an arena where private companies rarely dared to venture. Then envision a man stepping forward, promising to transform this elite industry into something more accessible, where rockets could be launched as frequently as airplanes, drastically reducing costs by billions. Furthermore, he proposed making these rockets reusable, a concept that seemed straight out of science fiction. Understandably, this man was met with skepticism and ridicule. After all, everything he proposed, from frequent launches to reusability, was unheard of at the time. This man was Musk, and the company he founded to make these audacious dreams a reality was SpaceX. His vision for a new era of space exploration, where rocket launches would be as routine as airplane flights, was met with skepticism. But it was Musk's dedication to his vision and SpaceX's relentless drive for innovation that gradually shifted the paradigm. The Falcon 9 rocket is a prime example of their achievement. This launch vehicle has earned the reputation of being the most reliable rocket in existence. And recently, SpaceX achieved a groundbreaking milestone with this rocket, a record that took the industry by surprise. And in this video, we'll explore the details of this remarkable achievement. But before we delve any deeper, please make sure to subscribe to our channel for future updates about SpaceX's other important missions, including the development of the gigantic Starship rocket. As I mentioned earlier, SpaceX recently broke another record in the space industry. This historic event occurred at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida on December 23rd. The Falcon 9 rocket's first stage flawlessly executed its latest task, deploying 23 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit, approximately 65.5 minutes after liftoff. This mission was notable not just for its payload delivery, but also for the booster's safe return. The first stage of the Falcon 9 touched down on the drone ship. Just read the instructions in the Atlantic Ocean, a mere 8.5 minutes after launch. This marked its 19th successful landing, an unprecedented feat in the history of reusable rocket technology. The previous milestone of 18 flights for a Falcon 9 booster had been set just last month. Most of the earlier rocket boosters, like I said, were designed for single use. Discarded boosters either burn up in Earth's atmosphere or, worse, become space debris. This space debris, consisting of spent rocket stages and other fragments, orbits the Earth at high speeds. It poses a significant risk to operational spacecraft, including the International Space Station and future space missions. The recent achievement comes exactly 8 years after SpaceX achieved its first-ever successful landing of an orbital-class rocket. Since then, the company has made significant strides in reusable rocket technology, successfully landing Falcon rockets over 250 times, demonstrating a significant increase in launch frequency over the years. In 2021, SpaceX completed 31 missions, a commendable achievement in itself. However, in 2022, they nearly doubled this feat, successfully executing 61 missions. This rapid increase in launch frequency is a clear indicator of SpaceX's growing capabilities and ambition. For 2024, SpaceX has set an even more ambitious target of 144 launches, almost tripling their 2022 numbers. To achieve this target, SpaceX plans to utilize its diverse fleet of rockets, including the Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, and the much-anticipated Starship. A large portion of the planned launches will likely involve Falcon 9 rockets, which have been instrumental in deploying Starlink satellites, ferrying cargo to the International Space Station, and launching various commercial and government payloads. The Falcon Heavy, known for its higher payload capacity, will also play a significant role in the 2024 launch schedule. While not as frequently flown as the Falcon 9, the Falcon Heavy is crucial for heavier payloads and missions requiring additional thrust. Its unique capability to carry more substantial payloads to orbit makes it an essential part of SpaceX's arsenal for certain specialized missions. However, the most significant development in SpaceX's future launch capabilities is the Starship. The Starship represents the next generation of SpaceX's launch vehicles designed for heavy lift capabilities and eventual human missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. While still in the testing phase, the successful deployment and operation of the Starship would mark a monumental leap in space travel technology. In 2024, SpaceX may begin integrating Starship into its launch roster, as SpaceX's focus gradually shifts from the Falcon family of rockets to the Starship. The impact on the space industry will be profound. The Starship is designed to be fully reusable, not just the first stage, which is the case with the Falcon rockets. This full reusability could dramatically lower the cost per launch and increase the frequency of launches, making space travel more accessible than ever before. The transition to Starship also aligns with SpaceX's long-term goals of interplanetary travel and colonization. With its higher payload capacity and potential for crewed missions, Starship is central to SpaceX's vision of sending humans to Mars. The increased launch frequency using Starship could facilitate the rapid deployment of infrastructure in space, including satellite constellations, space station modules, and eventually, components for lunar and Martian bases. Furthermore, the shift to Starship will also influence SpaceX's commercial and scientific mission profiles. The ability to launch larger payloads and potentially reduce costs per launch could open new possibilities for scientific missions, including more ambitious space telescopes, deep space probes, and interplanetary missions. When compared with other companies and nations, SpaceX's numbers already stand out. Other private space companies and national space agencies typically launch a much smaller number of missions annually. For instance, traditional space powers like NASA, Roscosmos, and European Space Agency have historically launched fewer missions per year compared to SpaceX's recent numbers. This contrast highlights SpaceX's unique position in the industry. A significant portion of SpaceX's launches is dedicated to deploying its Starlink satellites. Starlink is an ambitious project aimed at creating a global internet network through a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites. The project's goal is to provide high-speed internet access across the globe, especially in remote and underserved areas. The sheer number of satellites required for Starlink necessitates a high frequency of launches, contributing substantially to SpaceX's increasing launch numbers. SpaceX's aggressive launch schedule and focus on projects like Starlink signify not just a business strategy, but also an overarching vision to transform space travel and global connectivity. Their approach is shaking up the space industry, challenging traditional methods, and setting new standards for what can be achieved in space exploration and satellite deployment. And that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.